Number 9. Time Stranger Kyoko. I like the series a lot, but I forgot some things since I hadn't read it for about 2 years, so I reread it today, and liked it even more while finding more things to complain about simultaneously. Time Stranger Kyoko is a shoujo that occasionally wants to be a shonen but realizes that it's but a pipe stream and shrivels back to what it knows it has to be, a romance drama. The manga is about a semi-ditzy, childishly selfish princess of 16 who is not quite ready to accept her few responsibilities as princess, so she goes on a journey to collect the 12 godstones and their respective owners in order to revive her comatose but still somehow perfectly healthy twin sister and push her duties onto her. She has 2 bodyguards that are in love with her, but we don't find out until the end of Volume 2, even though it's pretty predictable after reading the second chapter. One thing that gets me is that they never explain what exactly the Godstones are. In Volume 3, something that happens which will remain unspecified for anti-spoiling purposes allows us to infer that the stones are mortal representations of the gods ruling over their respective elements, but there is nothing concretely mentioned in the actual story. She goes on miniature adventures around the world simply to collect the Godstones and their owners, but must solve deep personal problems and political squabbles Kingdom Hearts style, using her Godstone's ability to control time before they will agree to accompany her. On the journey, the bond between her and the bodyguard she loves grows stronger, maturing both themselves and each other, and they develop a romance that is not unlike any other, but is exceptionally unique and far from mainstream romance. I'll admit I'm a big old girl when it comes to that lovey-dovey crap, but there are other reasons to enjoy the series, though if you're not into romance, you will most certainly not dig this series. Minor things are the adorable art style, the many jokes that don't make it seem like it's trying to be a comedy but still manage to make it overall funny, and the rare occurrence of me not wanting to bitch slap a crate into the ground, using the female's head as a medium. The reason for this is that the protagonist, Kyoko, after which the series is named, is not an insufferable urchin for more than 2 chapters. The series is so short that everything has to move along at a fast and satisfactory pace, which forces Kyoko to develop and mature so early on that you can hardly get mad at her for her behavior in the beginning. There is a big problem with the series being so short, however. The authors seem to be cramming things together to fit into 3 volumes, even though it could easily have been more appropriately extended to 4 or 5, resulting in plot holes which are, while not fatal to the series, genuinely irritating to myself and those like me. I won't go into detail so I don't spoil anything for those of you that want to give it a try, but the lack of time causes characters to semi-frequently disregard social mores to advance the plot quickly enough to have such a short series, and for the same reason the recipients of the odd behavior are forced to accept it without recoil. This is all easy enough to handle. Until Volume 3. That's when it starts to piss me off. The authors seem to think that a plot twist had to be as far out ridiculous and character-defying as possible to be good. As a whole, the series is really enjoyable if you're into shoujo and softcore fantasy. It is very rereadable and doesn't take long to knock off, and if I hadn't made this video I probably would have just read it again as soon as I put down Volume 3. There is no anime of this, and I haven't heard of any production of one, so you'll just have to read it, which I almost always prefer, but I know most people would much rather watch the animation. If you're new to manga, this is a great place to start. As I've said, it's not too long, and it's drawn and arranged simply enough to where you will certainly grasp what is happening at all times, but it is complicated enough that it'll help you prepare for more complex manga. This has been number 9. If you read this series, leave a comment saying what you think of it. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I hope to see you again for number 8.